Welcome to the Frontline Herbalism podcast with your host Nicole Rose from the Solidarity Apothecary. This is your place for all things plants and liberation. Let's get started. Hello, welcome back to the Frontline Herbalism podcast. I just thought I would record a mini episode about the practical medicine making intensive. So if you don't know, this is a 3-day course that I'm teaching in September, and the first one got booked out really fast. So I've organised a second one, and there's about 4 or 5 places left on the second one, which is the 27th to the 29th of September. I'll also be teaching it next year as well. So I thought, it could be useful to kind of share a little bit more about what the course is about. What's it all about? So I'm going to read a little bit from the kind of booking page. So I'm encouraging you to become a skilled medicine maker. So this course introduces many of the incredible ways we can make medicine with plants. Learn how to harvest herbs and make potent medicine for yourself and your community safely, effectively, and sustainably. Okay, so this is like a super practical hands-on course. You will get stuck in, and I'll go into this in more detail, but you will learn how to make tinctures, glycerites, which is medicine made with glycerin, like an alcohol alternative, infused oils, ointments, vinegars, cough syrup, and lozenges. So I'm encouraging you to put the theory into practice. And I've written, equipping ourselves with the skills to take care of ourselves and each other is essential. It's just outside street in Somerset where I live. And what are you going to learn? Okay, so the first kind of focus is on like potent medicine making. So learn which factors contribute to making potent and effective medicines, from ecological conditions to seasonal variability, harvesting and storage to spirit and relationship. You will learn how to harvest herbs sustainably in right relationship with the land. Throughout the course, we will touch on different plant constituents and which medicine making methods are most effective in creating potent medicines. Gain an understanding of sustainable harvesting, potent medicine making, which medicine making methods for which plants. This is like a really important subject that kind of underlies like all herbal medicine making, right? Because if we're making medicine, we want it to be, effective for our health, for our bodies, for our nervous systems. So getting a kind of understanding of those principles is super important. So tinctures and vinegars, we'll explore how to extract plant medicine in alcohol and vinegar. So you will learn about folk methods, which is like my personal fave, and also weight to volume methods. So like you will know how to make it kind of more standardized and exact, and we'll get practice making both. So if you have been making a lot of folk medicine before, I'll encourage you to try like the alternative method, where you're really like weighing everything and working out the ratios and vice versa. By the end of the weekend, you will feel clear about how to make these effective medicines simply and easily with different dried and fresh herbs. So become skilled in folk tincture and vinegar methods, weight to volume tincture methods, warm infused herbal vinegars, fresh and dried herb differences. So I'm going to show you one of the vinegars that we used to make for Calais, for our mobile herbal clinic serving thousands of refugees in northern France. It's like a really wonderful way of making like amazing, powerful antimicrobial vinegar very quickly with a slow cooker. Okay, glycerites and cough syrups. So glycerites are mixtures of medicinal substances with glycerin. This is a fantastic alternative to alcohol. You will learn how to make cold glycerites as well as warm glycerites, which is using heat as a method for enhanced extraction. And I will go into this in like so much detail. You will learn how to make an effective marshmallow gloop, so that you can combine it with glycerites to make your own cough syrup, and you'll be able to take like tons of medicine away as well. And we'll also be making a bunch of cough syrup for Calais, for the mobile herbal clinic. We'll also cover how to make effective herbal decoctions. So that's like, what we're adding into our kind of strong glycerite mixes, and also herbal lozenges. So like an alternative way of working with glycerin and herbal powders. You will learn how to make cold glycerites, warm glycerites, herbal cough syrup, herbal decoctions, and lozenges. Infused oils and ointments. So infusing herbs and oil is a wonderful form of medicine making, yet not without challenges. Learn how to effectively make herbal infused oils with dried and fresh herbs. We will also look at warm infused methods. Excuse me. I'm very tired. I've been up all night with the baby. Warm infused methods for making herbal oils with various equipment. Infused oils are like the backbone of effective ointments, right? That's what ointments are made out of. It's like oil and wax. By the end of the weekend, you'll know how to combine oil and wax to make your own ointments. So learn how to make infused oils, and we're going to make a really heavenly infused lavender oil. Again, we're going to like do them en masse for Calais. We're going to make some other warm infused oils, and we're going to make a ton of bruise ointments for Calais. You'll also be able to take them home with you too. So the final kind of part of the course is like medicine making systems, like what records do you need to keep, what you're meant to write on your labels, how do you know what to harvest and when. I'll share my years of experience in making medicine for myself and projects across the world. Throughout the course, you will learn effective medicine making systems that you can put into practice, from checklists to label templates and all the tips and tricks to make things en masse. So feel confident in record keeping, labeling, storage, medicine making at scale. In terms of costs and facilities and accommodation, like I said, it's a really active 3-day course with tons of medicine making ingredients and materials. Generally I try and just do it with a maximum of 15 people. And I've written on the page, due to my anti-capitalist principles, a third of the places have been set aside for free or subsidized places. I'm encouraging people to email to express their interest. So those kind of places have already been allocated, but there's still a couple of places left on the second course in September. I just encourage you to get in touch with me. Like, people unfortunately book and then drop out of things. Like, numbers are a little bit unpredictable from my experience. And also, if I can't offer you one of those places now, then potentially you're like top of the list for next summer. Does that make sense? But otherwise the course costs £250 for 3 days. And I use that tuition to pay myself, to pay someone to support me, and also to cover all the costs, making it all happen. So food is like a separate cost. So they're cooked by my amazing mum, who prepares nourishing and delicious meals with as much produce from the land as possible. You don't have to have meals. You can self-cater. There's a kitchen. You can cook for yourself to save money, but I really encourage you to book on for meals, because it's just like, you're learning loads and exhausted and busy all day. So it's like nice to have that just kind of put in front of you. So the course is hosted at a beautiful small holding in Somerset, backed on by a nature reserve, incredible hedgerows, many medicinal plants. It is camping. There are compost toilets, hot showers, and a kitchen for in between meals. There's also a sauna and a kind of like very DIY outdoor swimming pond. And camper vans are welcome too. So camping is £10 a night. So for all the food and everything, that's £77, like the food and accommodation, plus the £250 to cover the cost of the course. So it's 327 in total. I've got like payment plan options, and like I said, like a bunch of the places are already subsidized. And then on the I won't read that about me page because I think people can listen to like the introduction to the podcast, but just in terms of my medicine making experience, I have literally made like thousands and thousands of medicines. Like over 18,000 medicines were distributed to people fleeing the genocidal reinvasion of Ukraine in 2022 as part of Ukraine Herbal Solidarity. I've been making medicine for the mobile herbal clinic Calais for like 4 or 5 years now. And we made over 6,000 medicines at the beginning of the pandemic that we distributed. And then obviously I support loads of people. Until I got pregnant, was supporting lots of people one-to-one and sending care packages out to groups. And again, it's like everything I'm making myself. Like occasionally I am buying like component parts when I have to make something in bulk, or I'm buying like mass herbs organically. But generally I'm harvesting herbs where I live and I'm making that medicine. And things like glycerites, like there's really not much kind of collective knowledge about how to make glycerites effectively. So I feel like it's a bit of a niche that I've kind of perfected, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited to share that with people. Finally, just like a couple of recommendations. So Hannah wrote, I can't recommend learning with Nicole enough. She has an extraordinary depth of knowledge, which comes from deeply lived experience and a place of really profound compassion and radical care. All of this comes together in a learning environment which is really supportive, unjudgmental, and rich with information, tips, insights, jokes, experience, stories. She is a generous and warm and gracious teacher, and it really felt both enabling and a privilege to participate in her work. Working with Nicole and engaging in her work as a Solidarity Apothecary feels like one of those lessons I've needed in our connections and capacities with plants and one another. Glenna says, this was such an informative and immersive weekend. The beauty of the land, Nicole's teaching style, and her genuine care for the whole group made for a safe and nourishing learning environment. It's also a great place to meet and connect with other plant lovers working towards collective liberation. Highly recommend. And that's like one of the things, right? Like people, it's all about like the people who come. Like it's always such an honor to like host people and meet people. And I used to coordinate like an education and training project with this old workers co-op, Feed Avalon, that I did years and years ago. And I was like organizing courses, and it just meant you just got to meet like so many people all the time. And then unfortunately the pandemic hit. So I kind of, haven't had very many face-to-face events. I taught this course last year, but other than that, I haven't kind of been running courses, like mostly because of the pregnancy and some burnout from teaching. But yeah, I absolutely loved it last year, and it just reminded me like how amazing it is to have people, you know, with shared values and stuff come together and learn medicine making. Jane wrote, I came away from a weekend of herbal medicine making completely blown away and so inspired to start making my own remedies. Nicole was an amazing teacher and packed so much into the 3 days with her amazing knowledge and a great sense of humour. I would recommend this to anyone wanting to put their love of plants and herbs into practice. A month later, and I am still fired up, excited, and have a row of my own tinctures and vinegars brewing so far. The course was very hands-on and practical, which brought it all to life for me. Thank you so much, Nicole. And Tamara wrote, everything about this workshop met my needs, from the consent-based agreements on the first morning to the mostly outdoor and flexible classroom style, regular breaks and hands-on learning. I was also inspired by all the people who came along and shared their projects and visions around mutual aid and accessible herbal medicine. Thank you, Nicole, for your generosity and easeful learning environment. It was one of the best experiences of my year. And another learner wrote, I did this course last year and have made more than 50 different glycerites, tinctures and vinegars with the methods I learned. Nicole was an inspiring, empathetic and open teacher, and the other people on the course were so lovely. I cannot recommend it enough to people. I was always surprised when we had like the feedback round, like how people find me funny as a teacher, like absolute pure accident. But I think it was just the energy of the group. It was just so much fun last year. But yeah, like I am very passionate about learning. Like I really encourage people who have, different learning needs or neurodiversity. Like it's not fucking school. Like if someone wants to needs to take a break, go have 10 minutes and come back, or, sleep in late and come late to sessions. Like that's totally okay. Like I will catch you up, or people, have like sensory challenges and things that need to kind of step out. Like I encourage that. I'm all about the snacks. I'm always like, okay, everyone, make sure you grab a snack at break time. And my mum brings out loads of food and stuff. And it's like, I just want to create an environment where people feel like excited and interested. And whether you're like, like a really practical person, or maybe you're more kind of academic and you're interested in like the research and the statistics and the kind of measuring and all of that stuff. Like I can talk about that stuff till the sun goes down. So it's like, wherever you are with herbalism, I think it's like a really great entry point. And it's not the kind of herbalism course where we're like, diving deep into anatomy and physiology or biochemistry or this herb for that, or, any kind of like medical herbalism stuff. Like it's really, really practical. It's all about, how do you make amazing, strong, powerful medicine? Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to encourage you to book. I'll put the link in the show notes. For the last few remaining courses. And if you need a payment plan, or, you want a subsidized place or something, like please drop me an email. If you can email support@solidarityapothecary.org, some other folks can pick it up while I'm still on maternity leave. Not for much longer, sadly, but anyway, I hope whoever's listening to this, I hope I get to meet you in September. Thanks for listening. Take care. Thanks so much for listening to the Frontline Herbalism podcast. You can find the transcript, the links, all the resources from the show at solidarityapothecary.org/podcast.